The situation here is a well-known beverage company that saw teamwork as a competitive advantage. They had 1,000 leaders they wanted to train on how to build high-performing teams. What was also unique about this particular client is self-sufficiency and accountability were really important. They wanted to train leaders how to build teams, but they didn't want them then turning around and hiring external consultants or internal consultants to help them with their teams. They wanted to give them all the resources they needed to diagnose how their team was doing, to pinpoint what the team was doing well and not so well, and then to conduct different activities to help the team get to the next level of performance. To help the client solve their particular problem, we proposed a 4-component solution. The first was to teach everybody a common model for building high-performing teams. Then we wanted to provide the teams with feedback. We wanted the leaders to know how well their teams were doing compared to other teams. We also wanted to give them practical advice in the form of a team book, as well as the support materials needed to help the teams get to the next level of performance. So the Rocket Model. The Rocket Model is our proprietary model for building high-performing teams. It's built on a very solid base of research. It's been taught to about 5,000 leaders now. We've collected data from over 2,000 teams, and these 8 components are all interrelated, and they're all very, very practical in terms of helping people understand what might be going on with a particular team. The Rocket Model provides a common language for building high-performing teams. The Team Assessment Survey provides team leaders in teams with benchmarking data about how the team is compared to other teams. The Team Assessment Survey takes about 15 minutes to complete. It's built around the Rocket Model, and it accurately pinpoints what teams are doing well and what teams could do differently in order to get to the next level of performance. Feedback alone is often not enough to help teams get to the next level of performance. Usually team leaders and teams need some guidance about what to do to help rectify a particular situation. Our book, Ignition, is designed to do exactly that. So Ignition is sort of a codification of all of the work we have done over the last 20 years with teams. What have we learned about launching new teams? What have we learned about helping teams that are good get to great? What do we know about turning around broken teams? The practical advice on how to do that is included in our Ignition book. You can see what some of that advice looks like here. This is the table of contents. We recommend that everybody read the first 2 chapters of the book, and then after that, pick a chapter that most closely parallels the particular challenges facing your current team. The book not only has specific guidance about how to deal with certain team challenges, we also have specific step-by-step instructions for 40 different team improvement activities. These improvement activities are used to address particular team problems, like how do you run more effective meetings? How do you have a better decision-making process? How do you clarify roles and responsibilities on the team? That's what these team improvement activities are intended to do. To run those different team improvement activities, you typically need support materials. We don't leave it up to team facilitators and leaders to kind of create these materials by themselves. We've done that for you. On our website, www.therocketmodel.com, you'll see 40 different PowerPoint decks, 40 forms, 40 handouts, different articles, and every other types of support materials, all designed to help you facilitate the 40 team improvement activities. Those support materials are all indexed back to one of the specific team improvement activities outlined in Ignition. So those are our integrated team solutions. We use the Rocket Model to help everybody understand what are the key components of high-performing teams. We use the Team Assessment Survey to provide teams with feedback on how they're faring compared to other teams and what they're doing well and not so well. We have Ignition, which provides leaders and teams with real practical guidance on how to improve certain team situations. And then we have these support materials to help team leaders and facilitators facilitate different team improvement activities. Now, how do we use these things? How do we use the Rocket Model, the book, the Team Assessment Survey, and the support materials together? Well, there's 4 different kind of scenarios that we use these things. One is just with intact teams. We use these materials all the time with intact teams to try to understand where those teams are at and how do we help them improve. We also use these with internal staff. By that I mean, how can we help HR business partners, internal OD and OE folks, leadership, learning and development folks? How do we help those folks better provide team consulting to their internal clients? And we teach people how to do that. We also train team leaders how to use the tools. For example, we'll provide team leaders with feedback on how their teams are faring, but then we'll also teach them how to use some of the team improvement tools back with their teams back home. And what's important for team leaders to understand is the way these support materials in Ignition is laid out, they don't have to play the role of the facilitator for their team. They can delegate that to different members of their team. So it may be that Jack will end up being the lead facilitator as far as a team member, but he'll be the lead facilitator, be responsible for maybe improving how the team runs its meetings. Joe may be responsible for doing the team improvement activity around creating new decision-making norms. All right, Gordy might be responsible for doing the journey line exercise. So the nice thing about these, the team improvement activities and the support materials is that leaders can delegate those activities to people on the team. This provides leaders with a coaching opportunity, because usually the team leader and the team member will get together ahead of time to review the activity to make sure that it's going to get facilitated properly. It allows the leader to play more of a lead from behind role during the activity itself. They're not the one taking charge. And it's going to drive buy-in across the team because everybody's involved. Now, the last application we have here for our solutions is we use them in high potential identification and development. So we feel that these tools can do a much better job, particularly the team assessment survey, trying to identify people who can actually build teams. Too many high potential lists are riddled with individuals who are smart and ambitious, but don't know or can't build teams. By using the TAS, we can eliminate that problem. We also use our TAS in many, many executive coaching engagements or anytime we do a development assessment for internal candidates. So those are our integrated team solutions. If you want to learn more about it, then check out our website, www.therocketmodel.com, or see our book, Ignition, A Guide to Building High-Performing Teams, or contact my colleague Diane Nilsson or myself.